Alright, YouTube, what's going on? Today, it's your boy Drew, here with Politically Black, and, this quarantine's gonna just drag out, ain't it, Jared Polis? But that ain't what we here for today. No. I'm serious, and I'm furious, and I'm seriously furious about some real shit. I want to talk to you guys about what's really crippling this society. And I want to talk to you guys about a class of people who are dead, disappeared, and moved. But let's start with the topic. The topic is poverty. And I'm seriously furious when it comes to poverty. Y'all know that. Y'all know poverty is what I want to eliminate. And I know realistically, across the world, if I were to get rich and start helping other people get rich, that I would only be able to help people to a certain degree and capacity. There would always be people beyond my scope of help, and that's just reality. Maybe Snoop Dogg would then feel motivation to go in and help those people I couldn't help because they'd be identified. Maybe it would be gangbangers. Maybe only self-educated and educated black people want to identify with me, and then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But then that gives other people a marker on who they could help. But let's not even talk on that. Let's talk on poverty. In the 80s and 90s, standardized testing became more popular in the school system, and there's a reason. We were able to, for the first time in a very long time, tell the difference between mentally fit and mentally unfit kids across the US. Across the US, it's standardized, baby. We just gotta add a couple metrics, and now boom, our numbers are the same. Okay, now let's compare numbers of students. What you find out is that kids who grew up in poverty, hungry, near sewage, under power lines, had problems with learning. This research exists. You can find it. It's out there still. There are studies about how poverty directly impacts the educational level of the person who's living in said poverty. I was very lucky that I grew up in a middle-class home with my grandma for a very long time, and I gotta shout out to the greatest generation that really did ever live. Like, yeah, we had our World War II veterans, but hold up, let's just take a step back from them. My grandma owned a house. My grandma got my mom set up to be on her own. Like, my grandma was working on getting me. When the time she passed, I was 13. She left my mom 2 vehicles just so I could have one. Now, I didn't inherit either of them, but she did. We had to sell them. Times were rough. But she did leave 2 vehicles to my mom. One was for me and one was for my mom. The truck was more or less for my mom. The rodeo was for me to learn in and whatever. That thing was awesome. But poverty trap struck, and we needed $6,000, and that's about what the rodeo is worth, so we let it go. But what it comes down to right now is that there's a lot of people out here who are in poverty and don't have a way out, and I really want y'all to think about who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to black people. I'm not talking to Mexicans. Actually, I'm really seriously not even talking to y'all Asians. Y'all are like the richest demographic in America. I don't even understand because y'all own every salon and that don't pay good. Teach me your ways. Are you eating like one bag of Uncle Ben's every week? Like, I need to know. I will. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get on that Asian path because though I'm beating those fools at math now. I just got to start figuring out the money thing that they're doing, because once I figure that out, we on the same level. But like, for an intellectual, I would think that you would want to aspire to be, I don't know, one of the leading nations for schooling. Like, just throwing that out there. Those fools have some of the leading programs for school. I'm just throwing that out there, and I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna move to Japan. No. What I'm saying is that we could do better, but we need to do better. Which requires the people to do better. Poverty is also a choice in part. It's not fully a choice, but if you're 48 and you've been a part of the workforce for 20 years plus, and you've chosen not to become a supervisor of any kind, that's strictly on you. They need you. They want you. Whoever is trying to hire you needs you as a supervisor yesterday, and they need you now. Like, you need to say yes. You're the one. Do not let that 23-year-old twat take the position. He's who ruined the job. He's who got all of his friends a job there, and now it sucks. Please do not let this happen again. Middle-aged America. Yes, you fucking 44-year-olds, 50-year-olds who are still working. If you're working, take the easy job. I'm telling you, it's the easy job. I've done everything. I've done construction. I painted bikes. I get you. But take the supervisor position. It's the easy job, and it pays better. Don't tell me about your bad back and then go, I can't be a supervisor. Because, fool, you can't lift that dude? That dude's 240. And he's all muscle. I guarantee you this guy can lift it. You do not need to. You would have employees. So when you point behind you and go, hey, this guy, that guy would come forward and go, what's up, boss? How can I help you? Yeah, that 240 fucking 7-foot giant, he's fucking friendly-ass giant ever met. And then you know what? He picks up the box that you couldn't lift. So get on it, middle-aged America. We need you in the workforce. Like, if you can work, take those supervisor positions. Go to Indeed.com right now. There are tons of supervisor positions. I won't work a job under someone my age. I won't. I'm telling you. I won't do it. Those people suck, and if you've got 4 years on me and think you're the shit, fuck you. But on top of that, I won't work around someone my age as my boss ever again. I need an experienced manager who actually knows how to handle workflow. There. I said it. I said it and it felt good. Just like Kanye said, say it, see how it feels. It feels good. Some shit you gotta get off of your chest. I hate working for people in my age range because y'all are lazy, undriven, cowardly pieces of shit. Anytime I had a problem at work and I had a boss who was older, guess what got fixed? My work problems. Yes, shit. And I'm talking like real work problems, like problems with like machines, problems with anything, but you name it. But my boss has got it taken care of. Okay. All right. I see you up there. But people my age, no, just ignore it. Just ignore all that men have to do to let evil take its rightful place in this world. And this isn't good men. This is just men. All the men have to do in this world is stand by silently, and evil will take its rightful place at the very top of the food chain, baby. And it's what happened. It's unfortunately what happened. All of y'all have stood back for so long that now y'all are worthless. But moving on from my shitty generation and why I won't work under someone my age and why y'all need to be picking up y'all slack. Middle-aged America. Moving on, the middle class is dead because those middle-aged Americans don't have houses anymore. They don't have 2 cars anymore. They didn't sell a business. They're not like that. My grandma sold a business, and that's what gave us that middle-class lifestyle. She was on retirement. She was good, you know, and I miss my grams. I'd be in a totally different situation with her. But the middle class is all but evaporated. It's less than, I think, 9 to 10% of Americans live in a middle class home now, and I feel so sorry for y'all. Because y'all don't know what y'all have missed out on. Y'all don't know what it was like to live in a neighborhood where you could ride your bike and not worry about it. Not worry about getting kidnapped because you wanted to go to the fucking high school and fucking go off the dirt trail there. Like, y'all really don't know, and it's a shame. It's like, I'm sure that all this craziness will end. But here's another problem for y'all. Say this craziness goes on for another 4 years. What about the kids? They're not living a nice life. It's not like you can say and look back at your child and go, well, you gotta forgive me, mama, for the BLM stuff, or dada for the BLM stuff, because you was living so nice while we was doing that. You don't get to say that. So what's the point of it? I don't get it. And then, wait, these kids are seeing riots. They're seeing tagging. What is beneficial? Y'all were doing so good for so long. Y'all was keeping it together. What went wrong? Where was the breakdown in communication? I want to know. Because it wasn't about skin color. That hasn't been a topic of real conversation for ages, and real black knew that. Fake black didn't. I'm going to tell it like Joe Biden did. You fake black. If you think that race was the breakdown in communication here in America. It wasn't. I want to know what happened to the middle class. I mean, I've been thinking about this for years. What happened to the middle class? But the only thing I can come up with, and it sounds shitty, it sounds partisan, and it sounds hackish, but I'm gonna say it anyway, just to see how it feels. Years of Democrat policies. Years of left-leaning policies have destroyed the economy. Now our dollar is worthless. And not, thankfully, as bad as the video of Bolivia I shared on my Facebook, but my God. $1 is worth 6,000 bolivars, but you know what? That 6,000 bolivars fucking get you a hot dog and a soda if you go to the right stand. Shit, that $1 ain't get you shit out here. That's what's up. But, like, for real though, that's a terrible exchange rate, but that's where we're heading. More Democrat policies about just... So, like, a huge thing that would help every American is if the Treasury would collect money that's overseas, but they won't, because that's a really big effort, because we then have to pay people who have our money in minerals or in bonds or something else or in their own native cash to get our cash back, and we have to pay them at their exchange rate. It's really difficult to set up. It takes a long time. It can take years, but like, it would start a campaign, say in Mexico, if we were to work with the Mexican government. So we know that X amount of $1 billion are here. We would like this much back within this many years. If you do have stores, do this, and this, we'll reimburse you guys X value equivalent to what the dollar is worth. Not that hard, it is, but it also is a deal that has to be negotiated. Like, there are exact terms, like how stores would be reimbursed, how anyone collecting the US dollar would be reimbursed. But if we were able to do that across the world and get our money back, that would increase the value, because all of it would be in a centralized location as opposed to non-centralized, non-usable locations. When money leaves circulation, it goes down in value. That's a fact. Another thing that needs to be looked into is the Treasury not creating the actual interest for the debts. We shouldn't be charged interest to create our own paper as the people. That's what part of their national poverty. In order to eliminate that, we need to have regulations that sanction the Treasury for this. That would be the only way to limit the Treasury's ability to charge interest. I suppose a 1% interest wouldn't be all that unpayable, so for every $10,000 we owe them $100, that would literally be on the spot. I got a hundo in my pocket, here you go, Treasury. But that would be like, I think 1/100th actually, but yeah, we could totally, 1%, 1/100, that's the same thing. Haven't even finished my coffee and I'm already telling y'all about poverty. But we would need about a 1% debt return ratio. We would need debt forgiveness. But the Treasury is not made for those things, so we would need to regulate. That doesn't bring back the middle class, however. My dilemma still stands there. Sorry, my coffee beard is gross. We still don't have an active middle class. We still don't have an active class of workers who are making enough to actually live. That's horrifying. This is a first in America. I would say that's in contribution directly to people my age running businesses. So business owners, if you're listening, don't maybe hire the generation that's all about social Marxism into every position. But on the other end, not all of us are pure social Marxists. Many of us aren't, and the generation after proved that a lot better than we do. But I do think that a social class has disappeared, and I think it's tilted the dynamic of our country, and I think that it disappeared because people aren't willing to be good at their crafts anymore. And you know what? Maybe customer service isn't a job to be proud of, but if you're gonna work it, maybe you should still be trying to be number one. Is it really that hard? Here's 3 things you can do if you're a customer service rep that'll make you number one at your job. Smile, how are you, and then have a good day. If you don't miss one of these 3 steps, no customer will ever complain on you, and when they do, your boss will go, No, I know how you talk to those customers. You were like, ma'am, how's your day going? Awesome, glad to hear it. Da 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 da. Your total is blah 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 blah. Like I'm telling you, just you gotta be you strong open, strong close. ABC. A is your open, C is your close. You start here, you put in a little filler dialogue, and then you just close out strong with that old lady. Well, Gertrude, it was a good day. You don't need any help taking these to the car? Oh no, I'm fine, sweetie. All right, but I'm gonna send that bag boy over there with you anyway. I know you said you were all right, but and then boom, just like that, you get promoted. Like, just trust me. Take it easy, CSRs. But like, be good. Be good at your craft. Be great at your craft. Fuck it. Be great. Be the best. There was a point in my CSR career where I was like kicking ass. I had my fingers my fingers were in the pot of customers, and they were wrapped around each customer. I was like, I had customers avoiding each other in my store. I had a couple that fought. I had a couple that cheated on each other who never came into the same. Like, I got them all, like, but, like, I didn't collect no information to use against them or nothing. They were all so happy to get good customer care that those people would have done anything. Shit, it's like, if I had needed a sack, there was more than one or two customers who would have brought me a bowl or two while I was on the clock if I had needed it. But I didn't. The was is tight. But, like, that's the thing, is, like, good customers return to you what you give them. Like, when I was working at 7-Eleven, dude gave me a $10 tip. I spent it in the store that night on Dokkan Battle. You know that shit's fucking fire. But gave me a $10 tip just because he won $100 on his scratch off, and he said he would get paid tomorrow. He only needed like 20, 30 to get through the night. So he's like, I got drinking money, I got weed money. Dude left the store singing. That was awesome. There are good customers, but I got also shitty ones. This dude came in every day and I thought we was tight. Like, even when I had to ID him, didn't at times. So when I started having to ID him, it became an issue. And yeah, the dude was like 44 at the bald dome. Here was my thing. Don't ever tell me to go pound sand, cause nigga, I ain't Israeli, I'm black. Alright? Cool. Now that that's addressed, I told him this, because he came back the next day with an apology, and I was like, you know, that's how you acted. I didn't say this, but I thought this. I'm like, you deserve a speech. I didn't give him a whole speech either. I just told him. I was like, kind of a day late and $1 short on your apology, but you got your smokes, so you can go. I didn't, hey, how are you? How's it going? What's good today? I was like, yeah, I'll get you your smokes. It was a real dry, stale compare. Normally me and that dude, I'm like, hey, what's going on? What you doing today? Nothing, gonna go drink with the boys. Oh, snap, so you need a pack of the Reds. I'm guessing you out, or you about to be out. Alright. Boom, boom. And we was tight. But after that, after you tell me to go pound sand and then wait a whole day to apologize to me? See, but people don't realize you gotta be a good customer, too. And the customer is always right. Let me tell you something. No one ever said that in the world of customer service. What we've said is, I have the right not to serve you. I don't know how y'all got those two things twisted, because one of them is a right and the other one is you're a customer. If you want to feel right, go to another store where they'll agree with you, baby. But don't come here to expect to be agreed with. That's how I run a store. That's just me. I don't want your politics. I don't want your political... Shit, my boss tried to talk about politics on the clock and I called corporate. So fuck yeah, I'm a bit of a Karen. You could say I'm Karen. I'm fucking carrying about Karen. You know what I'm saying? But on a real... poverty sucks, guys. It really does. And we do need to build a new middle class. And I think that's going to come from all sorts of places. I think it's going to come from Etsy, from YouTube, from, I don't think SoundCloud, but like I think that there will be a new middle class. I just don't think it's gonna be anyone we all expect. Everyone wants it to be these trade jobs, and I'm like, the world's moving away from that, y'all. We gotta get ready to move with it. I haven't been active on YouTube like I should have been. Granted, my audience reflects that. But on the other end, I'm getting the views now, I'm getting the audience now, and I'm getting people to come in and out of my channel now. This is great, this is huge. I'm hoping maybe I might make that middle class one day in like 5 to 10 years with my fucking YouTube, like. And then if I do, guess what I could do fucking part-time? I can go run a warehouse for some younger bucks, like, and train that other young bucks how to run the warehouse. Teach him, hey, you know who you should hire? Never hire your friends. You know why I hired you? You looked at me condescendingly. No one's ever in an interview looked at me condescendingly, but you did. Something about you is different. It almost felt adversarial for a minute in that room, and that's the kind of relationship I need. That's who I'd hire, and that's who I'd teach my replacement to hire, is someone who's adversarial, someone who's, no, boss, I'm on this floor every day. You don't understand what you're talking about. Let me tell you what I'm seeing and what the boys are seeing. And then I'll go check with the boys. Do you agree with what he just said to me? Oh, you feel underpaid? Okay. You stare at the... You feel underpaid? You feel underpaid. All right, everyone's getting a pay raise. Fuck. But see, maybe that's what's needed sometimes. People don't like adversarial relationships, but I've always ever grown from them. In Yu-Gi-Oh! I was bad until a couple of the people started having adversarial Drew, your deck sucks. Drew, your deck sucks. Drew, your deck sucks. It wasn't adversarial, it was advice. Advice comes off adversarial at times. That's why the first 3 letters are the same. If you don't know Latin, motherfuckers. If you don't know root words. Advice and adversarial sound the same. Because advice comes off adversarially at times. But that's it. It's not always adversarial. That would have been in that situation. That would have been my employee needing me to notice that everybody felt underpaid and we just started turning over huge profits. Okay, well then y'all can get a pay raise. Fuck. Like, as long as you keeping everyone good, everyone will be good. But the thing is that there's a two-way street here. If I become, say, middle class, I'm gonna start a business and I'm gonna run it right. And I'm gonna run 3 businesses in my lifetime. I'm gonna run a weed business for the medical dispensaries. I'm gonna run the best medical dispensary in the world. And why? Reason being, I'm gonna run a purely dedicated to science med dispensary. So you come in with like lower left foot pain, it's cured for life. I got you. Just come back next week. We got this. Probably not cured for life. It's just a treatment plan, but we got you. But next up, restaurant. I'm gonna run the best restaurant. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna say it a 3rd time, 4th time just to make sure you understand. I'm gonna kill it. Everyone will smile. My wait staff is gonna get an hourly wage, not a sub-hourly wage. Just listen. Because if I pay my wait staff and I put a no tip sign on the door, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell my wait staff, do not tell those people you make an hourly wage. But sir, they ask all the time, do not tell those people you make an hourly wage. But sir, they want to tip us. I know, but if you tell them you make $18 an hour, Jeanette, you and all your crew ain't getting tips. Nobody's getting tips. Don't tell them it. Just tell them, well, yeah, you make what a waiter makes. Tell them, shit, this is your first waiting job. You're pretty sure you make what a waiter makes? They're gonna slap a tangent on the table. I'm gonna put a no tip sign up just to make my boys rich. Fuck y'all. Like, fuck y'all. But that's the thing, is I won't have to charge any more for the meals. The meals are already going to be expensive enough. Oh, by the way, I ain't going to try to compete with Texas Roadhouse. It's just going to be local and shit. But like, steaks, hamburgers, prime ribs. Motherfucking, I know every black man wants one, but I'm going to be the black man to have one. I'm going to do barbecue. I'm going to do a barbecue restaurant. That's right. I'm going to own. Man, and I'm gonna hire the best black hood chef. Like, y'all ain't even gonna know. Like, y'all gonna see my chefs coming out the back, and they gonna put their arms behind them, and they gonna be big dudes, legs spread. You gonna think these motherfuckers got out of jail with how many tattoos they have. But they ain't. They They just barbecuing black dads who just love tattoos. No harm in that. No harm in that at all, baby boy. But you know what? I'm telling you, that would be my second business. And my third business, shit, I haven't really decided on what I would do for a third. I think I want to do something bigger. But I won't say, see, that's like a secret dream. And like, there's like 5 of these in this little one finger. So like, we ain't gonna talk about that. But I'm glad that y'all was down to hear about some of poverty. But like, I do have a plan to get out of it. And when I do, I got a plan for that too. Like, keep planning. Like, make sure you follow your 5-year plan. After you follow your 5-year plan, make sure that you come up with another 5 years. This will be your 10-year plan now. Now, at the end of your 10-year plan, what you want to do is what you're gonna do. It's not, you might have changed your plan, but if you wrote it down somewhere, it's what you're gonna do. So the universe works like this. If you think it enough, you write it enough, you work for it enough, it appears in your life. Some people get lucky and can do 2 out of 3 and it just show up. But that's not everybody. Most people cannot. In fact, those 2 out of 3 years, those 1 out of 3 years, that's the 1%. The things they did different than you were all chance-based. Don't actually buy into it. I mean, there is some level of choice to it too, but like Barron Trump has not made a single self-life decision. So no, he didn't do anything to end up in it. He was born into it. You wasn't. So you gotta get there. But like, and I'd also aim to dig at Barron Trump. I think that boy fucking, he's awesome. He is a brave little dude for taking all the shit on the internet he takes from the leftist media. Like, my God. A parent could only hope to raise a kid brave enough to still be by their parents' side, like, after the shit Barron's been through. Like, that's just so great. Like, see, I think an act of love like that simple is more courageous than an act of hate like a firebomb, but that's me. I also smoked a little bit this morning, so I've been derailing. Poverty is not a small issue, though. You do need to plan to get out of it. And we do need to reestablish a middle class, and I don't think it's coming from the usual directions of trade jobs and 9 to 5. I think it's going to come surprisingly from the internet. But other than that, YouTube, I'm out. This has been Drew with Politically Black. I'm signing off, and I'll catch y'all later.